Hi guys, I thought I'd do a quick film of the letters that I have created for the event on the Uncommon Guild, which is a Facebook group I belong to. The event is called Haunted Letters, and let's see, basically the idea was we do a letter from a certain person who lives or is related to a haunted house. Right now we're not shipping them because, you know, of the things that are going on in the world, but we may have something in the future where we include these in a junk journal for a future swap. Anyway, so there were 4 letters that we had to create. There was a 5th one that was like a bonus, but I have not had time to create that. And yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get time to create that. However, let me find my posts of the letters because it'd be easier for me to read them to you. But basically the backstory from mine is that my letters are about Nikola Tesla's laboratory and the house that he built to house it, and the fact that one of his inventions that he created in the laboratory in his house created I'd say a bridge through time and space or dimensions. He built his house to these exacting mathematical specifications. He took into consideration the ley lines around the area. Through this portal, he visits beautiful, fantastic, dark worlds. He documented all these creatures of different design and diversity that he saw through this portal door. The question is, does the portal only swing open in one direction? Is this house really haunted, or could the portal still be active? So these are the letters that I did from Nikola. Here is some gears and some watch hands that hold this one closed. Here is the letter from him. It includes some specimens of the creatures that he drew that he may have seen through the portal. Here's a picture of Nikola. Here's a picture of his invention. Yeah, here is the enclosed letter, which you can maybe pause and read if you wish to. But basically, he's sharing the purpose of his invention. He's saying how he used a detailed map of ley lines, which I've included, to determine where he should build his laboratory and the structure that houses it, which is his dwelling. Here is a copy of the floor plan of his dwelling. Here is some information he wrote down about some of the places he visited. Here is a blueprint. This is an actual Tesla blueprint. So yeah, when he wrote this letter, he's just taken his first steps through the portal, and that is the first portion of my letter. And here's the next portion of my letter, which is, again, some of the things he documented that he saw through the portal. It has some writing space on the back, and here are some more of the fantastical creatures that he visited, and here are, or saw through the portal, and here are some cogs which are part of his design. And yeah, so this all, oops, hold this in. This all closes back up again with clock hands. And here is his final letter, which is again just some documentation of his visions through the portal and going through time and space, so you know he also could go back in time. So that is Nikola Tesla's letters, who was the original owner of the house. The next, trying to see exactly how this was written out, but the next letter, let me find my post, was supposed to be from like the entity in the house. And I cannot find my post. There it is. Okay, they said ghost, but mine really wasn't a ghost. Mine was this girl right here. Her name is Arilla, and she is trapped in our world because in her dimension, there's this thing called the Throne of Power, which looks like this. Here's another picture of her. Here's her pet that she was using to travel. It's commonly used to travel in her realm. And when she was using it, she got trapped. She got pulled through this portal in Tesla's house in his lab. And she is kind of trapped in between worlds because she can't really interact with her own world, and she can't really speak to the people in Tesla's world. So anyway, this would have been her letter. I indicated in her letter that she has been attempting to use what she calls the Board of Words, which is a Ouija board, to speak to the entities which live in the dwelling that she's trapped in. She says she misses her family and her loyal flying beast Farfair. She doesn't know how much time has passed since she's been stuck between dimensions. Time passes differently in there. So a lot of times creatures will come and go and inhabit the dwelling, housing the bridge to the worlds. And she's still waiting for someone to open the doorway home. And here is one of the messages that she tried to send through the Ouija board. Here's what she looks like on our side of the portal. Here's the other side of here's her world, the other side of the letter. And then it is tie closed, and I made this planchette with a little tag that has her pet on it. And this is how, this is what I use for the closure of the letter. Just wrap it around and then, you know, tuck the sari silk in. So that's letter number 2. Letter number 3. Let me find my post so I can read it to you. Or I'll, you know, give you the synopsis of it. Goodness, there's a lot of people posting in this. Looked like a lot of fun, and I've been reading other people's very interesting, and yeah, people take everything in a different direction. It's kind of cool to look at other people's stuff. So, okay, so this letter is from Samuel Clemens, who is better known as Mark Twain. He was an actual, real, longtime friend of Nikola Tesla in the real world, not just in my mind. They became friends in the early 1890s. And after that, Samuel was a frequent visitor to Tesla's lab. He was really interested in this electromechanic oscillator, which generates a high-frequency alternating current. This is a real invention that Nikola Tesla created. In Samuel's letter, he said he feels that this experiment is the root of the house's issue because it's causing an interdimensional portal through time and space. And then later on, Samuel, or Mark Twain, uses this belief to create a book that he's writing called Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, which is a true book. And in the book, there's a story where the main character is transported through time and space to go back to England during King Arthur's reign. And some people do believe that this book was based on Nikola Tesla. In truth, it's kind of a rumor. Anyway, so here is Samuel Clemens' envelope. See, he's a writer, so it has typewriter and, yeah, some fonts and some writing. It's closed with these ties that go through these gears. Here's the internal letter. Here is some mentions. Here's a picture of Twain and Tesla. That's a real picture. Here's a picture of Twain and one of Tesla's friends. And if you look real close, you can see this ghostly apparition over his shoulder, which is really Tesla just moving in the picture because, you know, pictures were different back then. But I thought it fit the theme real nice. Here is Twain looking at some of Tesla's experiments. Here is a quote from Tesla. You can pause that and read that if you'd like. Hopefully it's focusing. Here's a poem that someone wrote about in Tesla's laboratory. And interestingly enough, it does talk about no shape, no form, no death, and how you can move between worlds, kind of. So I found that very interesting because I didn't know that existed until I did a little research. Here's the letter written by Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain, indicating how he and Tesla became friends because Tesla had been recovering from a life-threatening illness and had been reading a lot of the books Twain wrote, which is absolutely true and based in fact, and then how he became a frequent visitor to the lab, and how he fears that this portal is being created by one of the experiments, and that goes into a lot of detail about that. And so that was my third letter. And then the fourth letter, my fourth and final letter, let me go down to that post, was supposed to be from the owner of the house, but it's not really a house, it's a lab, and there's not really an owner because in truth the site of Tesla's last known lab is now a nonprofit called the Tesla Science Center at Wardenclyffe, which is really located in New York State. This letter is from a person who works at the facility for several years, but they have an ulterior motive. They're a freelance paranormal investigator who's interested in rumors about the unusual happenings at the Science Center. He specifically thinks that the occurrences are somewhat related to the electromagnetical oscillator house at Wardenclyffe, and his envelope actually became a journal that I made up of a lot of junk mail envelopes that I received in the mail. So anyway, let's go through the journal, and then that will be the last of my letters for this. So this is magnetic, and it opens up, and this journal actually pulls out of the cover and is a mini journal, has pages and such, but then can, slide back in and be closed again with the magnet here. So that's how that works. The first page, we have a pocket and some inserts. Here's the time portal. Here are some of the people and places that he believes the portal has access to at the moment. He's very intrigued by this one particular girl whose photograph keeps showing up throughout the journal. And, there's some ghostly photographs done by a local photographer from the 1900s. Here's a little altered paper clip. Here's some room to journal with some tags included. This folds shut, held closed by the clip. Here's the back. Also has a little ticket. Here's another just page for writing. Here's just a bingo card that he stuck in his journal. Here's an envelope that's ready for him to send some information to the person that he's talking to about his findings. Here's another picture of the girl that keeps coming up when he talks about the portal. Here's another pocket. It just has some journaling areas, some doodle space for him. Here's another one of those ghostly photographs. This is a little secret booklet that he created so that he can keep track of what's going on without anyone that he works with seeing that he's documenting things. It also opens up like this and like this for some secret tags in the pockets, some writing space, and a blank area for maybe a photograph that he might be able to obtain. And then this all opens up into some writing space. So then on the other side, there is another journaling space that he created. It has a little pocket tag with a photograph on the front. And then this is, again, just some journaling space. Some pictures. This all closes with a paper clip. Here is just a little tag pocket that I created. Here's that girl again that keeps showing up. Here is another pocket. It just has a tag for some journaling space. Oh, it's getting hung up on something. I'll stick it back in later. Here is a small bottom pocket, and this is just a tag that I created that Eva from Bohemian Crafting did a little tutorial, and I decided to try it, so that is part of what goes with that. And then here is his actual letter, which talks about him working at the Science Center at Wardenclyffe and how it's a nonprofit and how it's a museum for Tesla and a science center, and about his ulterior motive because he's a paranormal investigator. And that goes in this pocket, which opens up, and there's our girl again. Don't know what she has to do with it, but somehow she must be trying to reach him because she shows up time and again in his writings. Again, I'll stick that back in later because it doesn't want to go in easily. Here's the next page, and it just has a tip up to tuck your stuff in. Here's him writing in his journal. There's that girl again. And then here's just a little writing space I created that he may have used just to tuck some secret messages in. And here's another tag pocket for secret journaling. And this is a pocket that has just some journaling space as a fold out that slides in like this, because the side is open on this pocket. And then when you turn the page, there's again more journaling space that opens up, and inside more journaling space. There's just an empty page with some decorative elements and some more journaling space, and another photograph he took. And then in the back here is a double pocket. I don't have anything in the smaller pocket. This is a flip out for more journaling space. This is a pocket, and here's the back of his journal. So this is what I created based on, again, the Uncommon Guild Facebook group event. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you joined, and send me a link to your stuff. I would love to see it, and hope you all have a great day. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.